I've never really showed you this side of the operation before, but there is a recycling side. Now I just wanted to show you some bottles that have recently been emptied. They were lingering there on my bar for months and months, and almost empty. Almost empty. But I'll show you what I got. These bins here are for recycling. When I recycle them, I take them to the bottle depot and they give me a dime for each bottle. I have here the Aaron, the Sauternes cask finish. That was a beauty. And I'm only showing these to you because I had to make room on my bar for the new bottles that I will be reviewing soon, or in the next couple of months. And I had to make way to put them there. And I will have a bar update real soon. This is Chivas 18, fabulous stuff. It's only 40%, but it is a beautiful blend. I like that a lot. And here we have the, come on, focus, Craigellachie 17. That was also beautiful, but I had to make room for other things. I could have let it sit there with just an inch of whiskey from the bottom, but you know, you have to make room. And I want to do my bar update soon. So this one was also surprisingly good. Gibson's Bold 8-year-old. That was nice. And it went fast. Too fast. But you got to make room for the new stuff. Ardbeg Black. That was also very nice. Here we have the Port Escaig 12. That had to make room. I got a lot of Islay whiskey now, and a lot of Islay whiskey that I want to try soon. So these bottles had to go. What have we got here? Oh, this is one of my old bottles. It was the Dalwhinnie 15. It was one of those old bottles that I got off my friend who got them off of an old guy who had them in storage for over 10 years. And it wasn't too bad. I still have an infinity bottle of those. And that'll be interesting. Oh, the Ardbeg Scorch. Fortunately, I have a backup bottle that's still full. But that was nice as well. What have we got here? Oh, the 21-year-old Pike Creek. This is the Sherry Cask Pike Creek 21-year-old. That was beautiful too. That was from the 2020 Premium Spirits release, or it was released in 2020. And that's it for this box. But I do have some more. And the reason I have some more is that they're tall bottles that when you try and close this top of this bin, it doesn't close properly because the bottles are too tall. So there's a too tall bin. We have the Lot 40 Dark Oak. Yeah, I don't have a backup of that, but there's a new Lot 40 that's bottled at cask strength, which should be interesting. I haven't opened it yet. Here's another favorite of mine, if I can still get some. Gooderham and Worts 11 Souls, beautiful whiskey, and I think I still can get some at a shop near me. Beautiful, cost about $100, and it just tastes amazing. One of the best Canadian whiskeys in my opinion. And this here is the Old Perth blended malt Scotch whiskey. That went down very well too. And that's what I got for empties now, to make room. We're gonna make room for or they made room for what's on the bar. You see there are some full ones there. And I don't know, shall I continue? I suppose I shall continue and give you my home bar update for the end of the year of 2021. Okay, right down there I have a collection of whiskeys from Shelter Point. which I will be going through, or actually, by the time you see this, I will have gone through them already. This is what's so nice about recording in advance. Oh, this is upside down. I'll turn it right side up here. This is the 12 Delights, handcrafted by Shelter Point to wish the year good night. And we're talking about the year 2021. So this is, I'm about a week and making this video in advance, a week ahead of the time. A week ahead of the time when I will be going through the 12 Delights. And the 12 Delights will be the last 12 days of the year. And this video should go up in early January. So don't ask me why. It just is that way. Okay. Here we go with my home bar update. I have here Seagram's. No, it's not Seagram's anymore. It's Canadian 5-star. This is a 1.75 liter bottle, and it is great stuff for the price and for what it is. It's 100% rye. Tastes wonderful. Here's another 100% rye. Alberta Premium 20-year-old. This is also really good. And here we got this one here is the Crown Royal. It's the XR. And the box looks like this. Crown Royal XR is bottled at 40%. Costs a lot. And it's some of the oldest, or some of the last of the whiskey from the LaSalle distillery of Seagram's. I have here another one that's quite special. This is the Canadian Club. Come on, focus. 40-year-old. The 40-year-old has a box up here. I'm not going to open the bag. I'll just show you the box. Canadian Club 40-year-old. This was released in 2017. Being 40 years old, 100% corn. And just great stuff. Oh, yeah, and it was aged in ex-rye barrels. More Canadian here. Wiser's 15. A nice little favorite. That will be making room for something else in the near future. This one here is a Canadian Shield, which I picked up in Montreal. It's made in Cowansville, Quebec. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. It has a unique flavor. It's different. Here's one of those Macaloni's Peated Darach Brach. That's also really interesting. And it's getting low too. But it's expensive stuff. Another Macaloni here. This is their Invermally. And this one is European Muscatel Barrique. I think it's aged in there. There are not many. 46% bottle 146 out of 233. I think I'm going to give a sample of this to someone. Here's another Macaloni's Invermally. This one is the Premium X Bourbon Cask. That's another sample for someone. Here's one of those unopened bottles. 100 volt, 100 proof Canadian rye whiskey. So is it rye or not? It's from Highwood, so you don't know if it's rye or not. It just says rye. Rye is a nickname. And yeah, they're kind of notorious for doing that. Here we got Shelter Point Smoke Point whiskey. Batch number 3. This stuff is excellent. It's high proof too. It's bottled at 53% alcohol by volume. Wonderful stuff. And I do have a backup bottle of that. I've been buying backups of Shelter Point just because. 40 Creek Double Barrel Reserve. Yeah, it's a good starter whiskey. Nothing special really. In fact, I prefer this one. This is my favorite 40 Creek. This is the 40 Creek Copper Pot. This is the best one from 40 Creek, in my opinion. But who am I to say? I prefer the copper pot to any other 40 Creek that I've tried. And I've tried a lot of them, especially the annual releases. Oh, here's another favorite of mine. This is the Lowen McKinnon chocolate malt. I can get, if I can still get this, I get it at the same shop where I picked up the Gooderham and Wart's 11 Souls. They still have, they must have bought piles of this stuff. And it's beautiful. It's a lovely whiskey. It's actually chocolate malt, and it's Sauternes casks, I think. Yeah, I think it's Sauternes casks. Sauternes, yes, it does say Sauternes on there. I love Sauternes casks. They are just beautiful stuff. What else have we got here? Oh, another one of my favorites. Cheap corn whiskey, the Highwood 90, 5-year-old. I don't like the 20-year-old. The 5-year-old is better. Age isn't everything, but there are some people who think it is everything. What's this? The regular Lot 40. You know, I stopped drinking this when I first tried the Lot 40 cask strength, but I thought I'd get back to it, so I have some Lot 40. It's, you know, very decent Canadian rye whiskey, and it's at 43%, so it's not going to knock you on your butt. It's just nice and enjoyable to drink. Speaking of 100% rye, another favorite of mine, the regular Alberta Premium. This is not the 20-year-old and not the cask strength. This is just the regular old Alberta Premium. Even though it's cheap and it's not very strong, it's one of my favorites, and I always have some. Moving on to more interesting local things. I have here a Glen Saanich. Now, Saanich is the town in which I live. It's just outside of Victoria. And Glen Saanich, this is single malt whiskey made locally at a vineyard called Divine. And so this will be interesting to get into. I've seen it a few places around town, but not at a BC liquor store. This here is Stillhead. This is also a local-ish product. This is from Duncan, BC, which is like an hour's drive up the #1 highway from here, from Victoria, or from Saanich. And that's going to be interesting to try. Here, this is a little less local, but very interesting nonetheless. It is the Canadian Club Chronicles 44-year-old Canadian whiskey. And I paid a premium for that. That was expensive, but I've had the 40-year-old and I still have some. I've had the 41-year-old. I've had the 42-year-old. I've had the 43-year-old. So, for the sake of continuity, I also have the 44-year-old. It's going to be interesting to try that. And I want to try that with a friend of mine. Yeah, looking forward to that. This here is another, oh yes, this is the Macaloney's Caledonian Glenloy. If I can get this thing to focus. It's got a bunch of little writing on here. Come on, focus, will you? There we go. 46%. Bottle 88 out of 1196. And bottled in January of 2021. Yeah, that was a bit of a struggle to get a hold of that. Apparently there's a new batch out. This was batch 1, and there's a second batch out, but it's expensive too. It's like about $180 after you've paid for the tax and everything. It's a lot of money. Here's another BC I've never had before, Revelstoke. 40% alcohol by volume will probably be a nice whiskey for starting out the night. So I've never had that before, but I've seen it around, so I'm going to give it a try. Hopefully I don't knock it over. because it is precariously on the edge there. Here we go with Shelter Point single cask triple grain, bottle 174 out of 283. This is nice. It's bottled at 43%, easy drinking, goes down very well. But I'm kind of slow about going through it because I'll never see it again. This one here is the artisanal single malt, also from Shelter Point. This is good stuff, and I can get it quite readily and easily, so it doesn't matter if I drink it fast. But, you know, sparingly. I enjoy it. I enjoy having it around. Oh, what's this? This one was an interesting find. From a few years ago, Macaloni's didn't have their own whiskey online yet, so they were taking whiskey from Scotland and blending it together. This one here has some, I think it's from 3 or 4 different distilleries. The writing is very small. I don't know. Can you read that? Here we are. Blair Athol, Tianinic. What's that one? Clynelish. I think it's Clynelish. And there's another. And Othrusk, perhaps? Yeah. So that's Prince Dougal's Dram. I found that when I was coming back from Shelter Point. There's a store called Mid-Island Liquor, and they have some dusty bottles there, and that was one of them. So I thought, okay, I'll pick that up. I had it before years ago, but, you know, here it is again. Shelter Point, the Forbidden. This is the batch 2, yes, at 47%. It's 100% malted. I think it's malted rye. No, malted wheat. I think it's malted wheat. Anyway, it's very special. And very light and easy drinking, considering it's 47% alcohol by volume. There's also the previous year's release of Forbidden. I still have some of that one. This one's bottled at 49.8%. And it's the same thing. I think it's malted wheat. Single malt whiskey. Forbidden. 100% wheat. Yes, I was right. Now here's a couple of cask strength beauties. Also from Divine, which I've never tried before. This is the Glen Saanich single cask strength. Yeah, that'll be interesting. And here's another Glen Saanich. I think these are exclusive to the Strathcona Hotel liquor store. Wine cask finish, cask strength Glen Saanich. That will be interesting as well. And we're getting towards the end of the Canadian section. And, oh, this is going to be a long video. Here is the Sunshine liqueur from Shelter Point. I would not have bought a liqueur, except that it is from Shelter Point. And here's a major curiosity. This is mainland whiskey Time Machine. This was not aged in casks. It was aged in an electronic box. I have done a video about that. And that little bottle is going to take a long time to empty. Here we have, I showed that already. That's a copper pot from 40 Creek. Here's a Macaloni's Invermelli. And this one is Richard Red Wine Barrique. And it's a single malt from Macaloni's Caledonian. What else have we got here? Oh yes. Shelter Point Montfort 151. Unmalted barley. Beautiful stuff. Another Shelter Point coming up here. This is the double barrel. Batch number 6. And it was, or is, my Canadian whiskey of the year. One more Canadian whiskey last but way far from least is the Alberta Premium Cask Strength Batch 3. I haven't opened it yet, but maybe by the time you see this, I have. Okay, now we'll go into some world whiskies. I just have a few. I will call this here a world whiskey. It's the Nomad. It's Scotch, made by Jim Patterson, I believe, but it's aged in Spain in barriques. Not barriques, but it's called Nomad Outland Whiskey, and it's aged in sherry casks, finished in sherry casks in Spain rather than anywhere else. It's another world whiskey. This is the single malt Miyagi Kyo. I didn't like it on the neck pour, but you know, it's getting better. It's getting better. I'm beginning to appreciate it. Taking my time with it. And here's another world whiskey, one that I have not opened yet, but when I saw it, I had to try it because people have said good things about it. It is the Amrut. Come on, focus. Intermediate sherry. And I thought I'd never see that, but I found a bottle. Or should I say I had it sent to me from Alberta. Okay, here we go into American bourbons and ryes. And we got a Redemption rye. We have here a Blanton's, which I like a lot. My American or bourbon of the year. I'm a big fan of these guys. This is Stranahan Rocky Mountain Single Malt Whiskey. Beautiful stuff. Another lovely Stranahan is this one here. That is the Stranahan Diamond Peak. It's another beautiful whiskey. I like that one. I have some Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel, which I'm slowly going through. Don't reach for it very often, but sometimes I'm in the mood. And here is the Knob Creek Twice Barreled Rye. And as far as I know, this was a BC Liquor Store exclusive. I'm not sure. From last summer. I got some Irish. I got a bit of Irish. I have here a Bushmills Single Malt 16. Haven't tried this one yet, but I've tried other Bushmills offerings, and they were pretty good. Here I have a full Powers Gold. This is another dusty bottle that I picked up island near Coombs at a place called Mid-Island Liquor. Never seen that anywhere, so it's probably dusty. I have here Method in Madness. That's an interesting dram as well. And this one here's my Irish Whiskey of the Year, Redbreast 21. Yeah, this is I can't say enough good things about this one. A couple more Irish things. There's a single malt Waterford Single Farm Origin. This one is the Bano Island. Yeah, Bano Island. And the other one I think is the Gaia 2.1 or 1.2. Gaia 1.2. Yeah. So that's it for Irish. Now we're getting into the Scotch. That's the largest section right there. Got some blends. Dewar's 18. Oh man, my hand is shaking. Probably from lifting up all these bottles. This one here is a replacement for the Chivas Regal 18. It's full. I brought that from Montreal because I can't get it locally. Here's another one that's always on my bar. Johnny Walker Green. Come on, focus. There we are. Johnny Walker Green label. Love this stuff. Here I have a Dewar's 21. These little half bottles, they don't last very long, and they're kind of expensive. But, you know, curiosity and all, you got to try it. Here is the Compass Box Orchard House. I haven't opened that yet. That's coming up soon. Well, in the next couple months anyway. And here's another one that's almost always on my bar. The Cutty Sark Prohibition 50% alcohol by volume. Beautiful stuff. I like that one. Like that one a lot. Okay. Spacesides. Speyside, here we have the Cragganmore Distiller's Edition. It's getting low too. I like that one. Here's one of those old bottles that was given to me by my friend, Macallan Fine Oak. It's a little bit corked, but it's almost gone. It's still drinkable. I have here Benriach 12. Here's another favorite of mine, Glen Grant 12. I love Glen Grant 12. Not much left. Love that stuff. What do we have here? Balvenie 14 Caribbean Cask. Yes. What's this? Oh, MacPhail's collection. Yeah. I just opened that up last night. 8-year-old Glenrothes. I think that's my favorite Speyside of all time. Up to now. Okay. Stand up here, 'cause it's easier. Yeah. Craig Ellachie 13. Another favorite. I've had a few bottles of that. This is the Cask Speyside from A.D. Rattray. Very nice. What would a Speyside section be without some Glenfarclas 15? And it's not very heavy. In fact, it's almost empty. Oh my goodness. I'll have to get another bottle of that somewhere. There's the Scallywag. That's the BC Liquor Store's 100th anniversary edition special, like a store pick. Scallywag. Wonderful Douglas Lang regional blend. Glentocher's Octave. That's also wonderful. And we have here some, oh, that's Dimensions. That's also from, it's a Glenallachie 12. And the bottler is, oh, what's his name? Duncan Taylor. Okay. Here's a Carnmore. This one is the what is it? Oh, it's heavy. Come on, focus. Mortlach. Okay. We have some Mortlach. Wow. Here we are with some Highland Edradour 10. Beautiful stuff. Got some Glenmorangie 18. Got some Glendronach 15, which I got from Alberta. I haven't opened this yet. I've heard good things about it. So I will be trying that within the next couple months. This one here is a repeat purchase, but I saw it on the shelf and I couldn't resist. It's a Glen Glassaw Pedro Jimenez wood finish. Over here, we got Glengarry. This is the Founder's Reserve, I believe. Yeah. Love Glengarry. It's strong and it tastes wonderful. Here's another Glengeity. This is the 12-year-old Glengeity. Nice, nice. I love having that stuff around. It's just wonderful. Here is another AD Rattray Crofton Gia. 12-year-old. Independently bottled. Now we got some Lowlands. A couple of Lowlands, not much. Bladnoch 10. I reach for those on rare occasions. And this one here, the Bladnoch 17. That's also beautiful. And I do have a couple of things from Campbelltown. I have a Kilkerran 12. I think I had one of those a couple of years back. I haven't opened this one yet, but the one I had a couple of years back was just wonderful. So I got another one. And over here, we have my second bottle of the Glen Scotia Victoriana. This is fantastic whiskey. I love that stuff. So I had to get a second bottle because the first one was so good. Over here, we got Islands. Well, the Islands is an unofficial region, but Highland Park 12 Viking Honor. Not a bad starter. Stay. It's another Highland Park. This one's an 8-year-old from Gordon MacPhail. I'm going to enjoy opening that. Now, you stay right there. Okay. Another Gordon and MacPhail. Can you tell I'm becoming a bit of a Gordon MacPhail fanboy? This one is a Gordon MacPhail Lecheg, which I got from Alberta. That's going to be interesting to get into, and I will do so in the near future. Got to have some Talisker 10, my old friend. Over here we got the Lecheg 10, another old friend. Got some old friends from the islands. And of course, we got some Arran here. This is the Arran port cask finish, and the empty, the Sauterne finish was gone already, but this is the bottle that sort of went with it. One more section, and we've got, we're up to 32 minutes. Wow, it's a long video. This is the Islay section. The Islay section, which has had some bottles finished recently to make room for some new ones. Okay, we have here the Smokehead. I didn't think much of it at first because I had some Lefroy Triplewood, and the Lefroy Triplewood just stomped on this one. But, you know, the Smokehead is kind of nice when you don't want your peat to be overpowering. Another one here that, Bowmore 12, the only reason I bought it was because it was cheap. And it's not that great, but compared to other Islay whiskies. But on its own, I suppose it will do the job. Here is the Ardbeg 10. That's almost empty. It's going to make room for something else, I'm sure. The Lefroy 10, one of my favorites. I should get another bottle soon. It's going to make room for something else. I have my still full bottle, my second bottle of Ardbeg Scorch. Haven't opened that yet. I have here a curiosity. I don't know where it's from. The tasting notes are from Jim Pattison. Is his first name Jim? I even forget now. It's on here. Richard Patterson. Why did I say Jim? Oh, man, I'm terrible. It's called Pete's Beast, and I don't even think it's an Islay whiskey. But there's nothing here saying where it's from. It's just from an undisclosed distillery somewhere in Scotland. Don't know. Couldn't tell you. Have no idea. But because it's peated, I put it in the Islay section. It might be a Highland, which would belong over here with the Glendronach 15. Okay. Just a few more Islay whiskies. Bunnahabhain 12. I hadn't had any of this for a few years, and when I opened it up, my gosh, I forgot how good it is. This stuff is wonderful. Wonderful Bunnahabhain 12. Here is the Smokehead Rum Rebel, which I started last night. The peat smoke and the rum cask finish have a beautiful interplay amongst themselves and make for a very interesting flavor experience, to me anyway. Here is another favorite, the Port Charlotte 10 second limited edition. It's a dusty bottle that I got up island. This is not available anymore. This is far superior to the regular 10 that's available now. Far, far superior. Here is another Smokehead. This is the Sherry Bomb. So that's going to be interesting to try. A Smokehead Sherry Bomb. This is the last of my Scotch whiskey of the year from 2021. The Lafroig 10 Sherry Oak Finish. Oh, I might polish that off tonight. Doing a live show with Malt Muser. And this one here is the Port Charlotte Pack 10. I think it's Pauillac something, or Pack 01, 2011. I'm looking forward to that one as well. And this one also is coming up. Another Port Charlotte Islay Barley 2013. Haven't tried that yet, but you know, we had to finish some other things to make room for that. In fact, there goes the Highland Park. Oh, you precariously teetering. Let's get in there. Okay, that should not go anywhere now. That should not go anywhere now. Yeah, too many whiskeys on the shelf, eh? Well, that's my home bar update for December of 2021.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.